South Korea's president in Hanoi for talks with his Vietnamese counterpart. Jae Myung meeting To Lam in the Vietnam capital, their second face-to-face in less than a year. They're expected to broaden cooperation in sectors including nuclear energy and infrastructure. Seoul also seeking wider access for its cultural and agricultural products. And for more, CNA's senior correspondent Leong Wai Kit joins us live from Hanoi with more on President Yi's visit. Wai Kit, President Jae Myung has spelled out some of his aims for this trip to Vietnam, including boosting economic ties with the country. But what concrete outcomes can we expect from this visit?
Well, in a way, your KPIs have been set. In recent years, both South Korea and Vietnam are aiming to increase economic trade figures to 150 billion US dollars by 2030. Now, that's not new. That has been for the last couple of years. But if you take a step back and look at South Korean President Jae Myung's recent trip to India. Now, during that trip, he had also had mutual agreements to hit certain targets by 2030. So, economic cooperation is obviously on Mr. Yi's agenda to Asia on his trip. But specific to Vietnam, what we can expect is perhaps a boost in investment. Mr. Yi is traveling with a huge business delegation. There will be, or slated to be, a forum where South Korean President Jae Myung will co-chair with Prime Minister Leong Wai Kit on Thursday to improve or attract investments to Vietnam. Now, there are also several sectors which you also mentioned earlier, Angie, sectors such as your nuclear power projects, as well as AI and science and technology. These are sectors singled out specifically for areas of cooperation. In fact, I just heard that there are some 12 documents officially being exchanged between South Korea and Hanoi, and those sectors that I mentioned are among them. So we can expect some outcomes from there. But apart from economic aims, I also want to quickly talk about the political significance of this trip. Now, South Korea and Vietnam have many overlapping common areas of interests in today's geopolitical world, including your Middle East conflict, Israeli-Palestinian issue, Ukraine-Russia war, and the Myanmar crisis. And importantly, both sides have singled out uncertain geopolitical factors as external threats or concerns that have to be tackled. So in a way, this is both countries' way of standing together and showing that this is an alliance in the context of an uncertain world. And for Vietnam alone, this can also speak to its domestic goal of wanting to defend itself fast and from afar.
Wai Kit, thank you so much for bringing us the latest. That was CNA's senior correspondent Leong Wai Kit live from Hanoi.